Hey everybody, welcome to your mat. I have a sweet little flow for you tonight. And before we get started, we will utilize 2 blocks. You don't absolutely need them, and a blanket. And if you don't have a blanket, bring along a towel, and that should take care of it. But to begin, I thought we could reflect on this one quote from Meditations from the Mat by Rolf Gates and Katrina Kennison. And this is from day 334. And the ending sentence from this piece says, "Our practice attunes us to the knowing we need in order to be the people we want to be." And it seemed, at least for me, particularly appropriate as we approach the holidays and the end of the year, and it gets a little crazy. So keeping in mind how our practice kind of brings us back to who we want to be, thought was the perfect theme for tonight. So feel free to set up on your blanket or on a block. Bring the legs in so that you feel comfortable, that the hip points are a little bit higher than the knees. Maybe come to the edge of the blanket, and then bring the stomach in, lengthen through the spine here, draw the shoulder blades back, and the hands can either rest on the thighs or come to heart center. Gaze forward and down, or eyes closed. And then just take a few rounds of breath here to really center in and focus on the here and now and what's going on inside of you. Maybe notice some of the sounds around you. Notice like the breath as it comes in through the nostrils and goes down into the lungs and then rises back up and exits either through the nostrils or the mouth. Not trying to change anything here, just really attuning into ourselves and this moment on our mat. Letting go of any to-dos, any stressors. Softening in the jaw, the space between the eyebrows, and the muscles around the ears here, the side of the head. And take one more breath here. Big inhale, nice long, slow exhale. And then release the hands from the heart, open the eyes, and come off the blanket if you're on one. And we will alter our blanket here so that it's, actually I'm going to have the longer portion towards my hip points, and then roll just a little bit, so it's maybe an inch or two. And I'll come forward so that the rolled up portion is between my hip point and my low ribs. So right in here is where I want to rest on the rolled portion of the blanket. And then start in a Sphinx pose. So the elbows are under the shoulders, the legs are long, the tops of the feet press into the mat. The fingertips are spread wide, and there's a nice lengthening here in the low back as the tailbone reaches for the heels. And then notice what you think about your roll. The part that's resting on the blanket. And take a breath in and allow the breath to go all the way down to the belly. Notice how that feels, and if you're like, I don't feel anything, then you're welcome to roll the blanket a little bit more. Or if you're saying, that feels really uncomfortable, it feels too much, then unroll the blanket a little bit. And basically what we're trying to do here is get some pressure right in that area of the abdominals where the breath goes. We're trying to just soften a little bit there. And maybe what you'll notice as you continue to breathe here on the roll is the back body moving. So you want the breath to come down into the belly, and since there's a little bit of resistance here with the roll, you might notice that the breath kind of moves naturally into the back body. So take a few minutes here in this modified Sphinx pose to feel the breath in the belly and in the back body. Acknowledging the support of the mat, feeling the elbows, the hands, the front part of the body resting on the mat. Good. And then I want you to make your way down. So cross this left forearm across the top of the mat and stack the right forearm on top of it, and bring the forehead down on top of the stacked hands. And notice how that changes the pressure in the belly, and see if you need to adjust the roll of your blanket because of that change. And can you continue to breathe here with the forehead on the stacked arms, directing the breath to the belly, and then feeling how the breath moves into the back body because of the roll of the blanket. Continue to soften in the jaw. Gaze can be open or closed. A lot of times when we're stressed out, we can tighten in the belly, and so this practice is meant to soften right there in that area, kind of help us release the clenched muscles that we can carry with us unknowingly. And take a couple more breaths here. Nice and slow on the inhale, and nice and slow on the exhale. Final breath in. Nice, long, slow exhale. And on the next inhale, begin to lift the head. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders here and press up to a tabletop. And then you can either set your blanket aside, or you can use the blanket under the knees in tabletop, depending on how tabletop feels for you. And then just check your alignment here. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, stomach lifting up and in, spine nice and long. Big breath in here. And as you exhale, begin to curl the chin in and reach the tailbone towards the heels, coming into cat. And inhale, lifting the head and the tailbone and sinking the belly. Coming into cow. And then we'll do that a few more times here. So moving the body with the breath. Move at your pace. Coming home here to ourselves. Feeling the support of the mat underneath the body, knowing that this practice helps us be
the people we want to be. And then come back to a flat spine from wherever you're at. Walk your hands one handprint forward, curl the toes under, and float the hips up, coming into our first downward facing dog pose. Press into the heels of the hands. Feel free to keep the knees bent and the heels lifted, depending on how you're feeling. The goal here is a long spine, with the hips at the peak of the form. Big breath in here. Nice long exhale. And on the next inhale, walk the feet forward to forward fold. Inhale halfway, long spine. Exhale, release and fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms meet overhead. And if you have the ability, lift the heels coming onto your tiptoes. And then exhale, and as you lower the heels to the mat, lower the hands to the heart. Good. I'm going to do that one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms meet. Come up to your tiptoes here, so lifting the heels. And then exhaling and slowly lowering the hands to the heart as the heels approach the mat. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. This time keeping the heels on the earth. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Walk the feet back to downward facing dog. Once again, bending the knees as much as necessary. Spine is long, hips lifted. Big breath in here. Exhale and lower the knees to the mat, coming into a tabletop. And then draw your blocks in. Place the hands on the blocks and step the right foot forward. Inch back on that left knee a little bit. And you can stay right here or bring your hands to the right knee. Engage that left glute, so squeeze in the cheek there. And then think about drawing the rib cage in towards the center here, hugging the belly in. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Good. And then exhale and soften a little bit in that right knee and feel a stretch here in the front of the left quad. And then exhale and press back a little bit in the right knee so you're more in a 90-90 lunge here. And then soften in that right knee again, feeling the stretch move to the front of the left leg, and then pressing back into the right foot here, coming back into that 90-90 lunge, and then press into the right foot so that you feel lots of action here in the right leg and in the left, and you feel very supported here. Big breath in, nice long exhale, and release the hands to the mat. Step the right foot back and bring the left foot forward. And again, you can stay on your blocks. You can lift your blocks to the higher level. This time you want to turn that right glute on, so squeeze the right cheek. And then we'll do that movement. It's very subtle, but we're softening into the left knee and feeling a stretch in the front of the right leg, and then lifting into more of that 90-degree low lunge here. Arms can be lifted, or again stay on the blocks or on your knees, so however you feel most supported. And then soften forward, feel a stretch in the front of the right leg. And then press back and up. Belly's webbing in here. Left foot is active. Right knee is pressing into the earth here, so the legs are super active. And then soften forward and press back up. Good. And then bring the hands back to the blocks. Set the blocks aside here. Step that left foot back. Widen the knees, touch the toes, and come down into child's pose or balasana. And you're welcome to bring a block under the forehead if that feels supportive for you. If you aren't comfortable in child's pose, come into puppy dog. And if neither of those feel right for you, come into easy sit pose or virasana. So comfortable seat, upright. So 3 choices for you there to feel fully supported. Find your breath, soften in your jaw. Notice again the belly and how it might feel after resting on that blanket. Notice any changes in the back body. Check in with the glutes and the quads here and notice if that feels different. Either one of those feel different. And then feel the hands or whatever portion of your body is resting on your mat. Just notice that. Notice how you feel supported here. And inhale and press up to tabletop. One handprint forward for both hands. Curl the toes under. Float the hips up and back. Downward facing dog pose. Big breath in here. Hug the belly in and up. Keep the knees bent as much as necessary. Think about the hips and where they are in space here. The arms are long. And inhale and walk the feet forward, coming back to our forward fold. Inhale halfway, long spine. Exhale, release and fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms meet overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Pause here for a breath. Gaze forward and down, or eyes closed, jaw soft. Feel supported by your mat. Notice that the feet are the only thing touching the mat here, and yet still our balance is with us. Both feet firmly planted. Now we're going to switch it up a little bit. So release the hands from the heart. Bring the hands to your hips. Shift your weight to your left leg and step that right foot back, coming into a high lunge. And then play around here. So if you step too far back and you don't feel super steady, then go ahead and move the right foot a little bit forward. But find what feels right for you. And then bring the torso over the hips and soften in that right knee. So you notice I've got it bent back there a little bit. Inhale, sweep the hands up, high lunge. Exhale, and begin to move forward, straightening the right leg, sweeping the hands back towards the back of your mat. Inhale, lift. Bending back into that left knee. Exhale, lean forward, sweeping the arms back. Feel the strength of the left leg here. Inhale, lift. Softening in the right knee. Feeling that right glute turned on and engaged here, squeezing the cheek. And then exhaling and coming forward. Long spine. Belly lifting up and in. And then from here, we'll change it up once again. So soften in that right knee and step it forward a little bit. And then get your balance and start lifting the right leg, maybe coming into warrior three. And maybe balance isn't your friend. You want to bring your hands to your hips and play around with it here. Keep hugging the belly in. Keep a soft bend in that left knee and feel the strength here in that leg. Draw the energy up the leg. Play around here. And then when you're ready, bring that right foot back next to the left. Shake out the left leg a little bit here. Shake out both legs, and we'll go to the other side. So hands on the hips. Shift your weight to the right leg. Step the left foot back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. High lunge. Catch your breath. Then inhale and begin to shift the torso forward and the arms back. And inhale up, soften in that left knee. Exhale and lengthen. Inhale, lift and soften in the left knee. And exhale, lengthen. Good. And from here, once again, hug the belly in. Press off of that left foot and then play around with your balance here, coming into a warrior three. The hands can reach back, they can come to your hips, they can reach forward. Hopefully you can feel that left glute turned on here, helping you lift that leg. And that's the goal here, just trying to strengthen here in the glutes and feel supported. And then bring the foot back down and step back into Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms meet. Exhale, bring the thumbs to heart center. Gaze forward and down or eyes closed. Check in with yourself. I don't know about you, my heart is beating. So just that little activity, that one move, stepping into warrior three, really amped up the reaction in my body. But here's the takeaway. Our legs are strong, our body's strong, our mat supports us as we work to become the people we want to be. So notice any reaction you had while you were practicing. Just observe, no judgment. And blink the eyes open. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Curl the chin in. Walk the feet back, coming into downward facing dog pose. Inhale and come into plank. Exhale, lower the knees and lower all the way down. Knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, float the head and the heart, coming into your cobra. Exhale, release. Curl the toes under. Press up to tabletop. And from tabletop, lower the hips and bring the feet forward.
bend into that right knee and bring the right foot over the left leg. And you can scoot your left leg over towards the right corner of your mat. Grow tall first. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, wrap the left arm around the right knee and bring the right hand just behind the hips for a twist. Big breath in here. Keep drawing the stomach muscles in. Thinking about moving the rib cage around the spine here. Last inhale. And as you exhale, come forward. Unwrap that right leg, extend it long. Cross the left foot over the right leg. Grow tall again. Move that right foot so that it's reaching towards the left corner of the mat. Inhale and reach towards the sky. Exhale, turn the chest towards the left thigh and wrap the right arm around the left knee. And breathe here. Notice what parts of the body are touching the mat. Feel fully supported by the mat, by your practice, by this time that you give to yourself. Inhale, begin to twist forward, unwind that left leg, keeping the knees bent and the feet flat. Slowly make your way onto your back. And once you're on your back, lift that right leg and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Take both hands and place them on the inside of the right knee. Keep the right foot active, toes curled back towards the right knee. And to begin, just press the fingertips into the knee here. Breathe and notice, feel the sensations. Notice where you feel anything, maybe in the outside of the right hip, maybe in the foot or the ankle, maybe in the back. And any of that is perfectly acceptable. If it hurts, then back off, but otherwise you should feel a little bit of a stretch here. And if you'd like to take it further, release the hands from the knee and lift the left foot off the mat, drawing the left knee in towards the hips a little, towards the chest. And then the hands can either slide behind the left thigh, or you can bring them over that left knee. See where you can soften here. Maybe in the jaw, maybe in that right hip, maybe in the belly. So where are you over-efforting here? You're fully supported by your mat. Where can you soften? And just let the pose be. Let it happen. Few more breaths here. And then slowly begin to lower the left foot to the mat. Unwind the right foot and lower it to the mat. Draw the left knee into the chest and cross that left ankle over the right knee. Bring both fingertips, both hands to the inside of that left knee and press the knee away. The left foot is active. Toes are curled towards the left knee. Breathe
soften, relax. And you can stay here, or you can release the hands from the left knee. Lift the right foot up off the earth and draw the knee in towards the chest. Hands can slide behind the thigh or clasp on top of the knee. Whichever feels better for you. Lengthen through the neck here so the chin is not reaching up towards the sky, but it's slightly tucked. Soften in the belly. Direct the breath to that left hip. Feel the spine all along the mat here. So if you're curled up, let that go. Bring the whole torso onto the mat. Maybe go ahead and release the right foot and just continue to press into the inside of that left knee. And one more breath here. And as you exhale, slowly release the right foot to the earth. Unwind the left foot and plant that on the mat. Extend the arms wide here, or come into a T-shaped. Or I should say into like a field goal shape. And then walk the feet as wide as the mat. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower the knees to the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the left side. And move back and forth, left and right at your pace. Trying to loosen up the muscles around the hips and around the sacrum and the low spine. Breath is constant support. It's slow and easy. And last time, both sides. To the center. Bring the hands towards the knees. Draw the knees into the chest here. Rock back and forth, left and right for a nice low back massage. And plant the feet. And if there's one final pose you'd like to take, please feel free to take that pose. Coming into happy baby, doing a low bridge, maybe a spinal twist here on your back. So lots of options for a final pose. If you're ready for Shavasana, feel free to come into corpse pose. Walk the feet wide and allow the feet to fall away from one another. And walk the arms a little wide as well. Palms flip towards the sky and fingers curling in. Notice what the chin is doing, and maybe lift the head and tuck the chin slightly. Gaze forward and down or eyes closed. Soften into the breath here. If you'd like to pause the recording, please do that and join us when you're ready. Notice any thoughts that you are having and let those thoughts go. Begin to deepen the breath here. Press each finger into the thumb pads. Draw one knee in towards the chest, and then the other, and then roll to whichever side is calling you, and pause there. And use the strength of the upper body to lift up to a comfortable seat, bringing the hands to heart center, gaze forward and down or eyes closed. Take a moment here to notice what you notice. How does the body feel? We only did a few moves in our practice today. Hopefully you feel strong, invigorated, confident. And I'll end the class with the quote we began with. Our practice attunes us to the knowing we need in order to be the people we want to be. Know that your mat supports you, that your practice supports you, that every time you come to your mat is a fresh opportunity to begin again. In love and gratitude, our practice is complete. Namaste.